Last time on Hexgrid Heroes, the crew of the Bazaar Encounter made their way back to Absalom Station, offloaded their massive amounts of cargo and passengers from the terraforming group on the Keyzor system, and the Aculian delegation was sent off. The crew split up a little bit. Lemon went to touch base with his manager. Met up with the head of the Church of Sarenrae in Absalom Station, while Brasha went to the government facility in the Planara to discuss certain things that we'll get to. And then Tallie, Occam, and Sig went back towards the neighborhood of Drifter's End, where Tallie rents an apartment with the Starfinder Society. There have been reports of missing persons, and when arriving back on Absalom, Tallie was bombarded with a wall of messages of people worried about her because her departure to the Vast coincided with when the missing people started being noticed not being there anymore. So, little worried for Tallie's safety. Tallie, you had a shit ton of messages about where are you safe? And as a production note, Sean won't be able to join us for today's session. So while on the way to Drifter's End, Occam was accosted by what he suspected to be an Abadar Corps death squad. So he kind of ducked behind an alley and kind of zipped away with Sig in tow. So, Tallie, you're in Drifter's End. This neighborhood's quite respectable. It's where the Lore Spire complex is located. It's where the Starfinder Society is located. And you see Lemon kind of serenely walking up the sidewalk up to you. And Lemon, you've just completed your conversation with the head of the Church of Sarenrae, Imrild Novahart. Had your conversation in the theatorium watching the production of the Eternal Struggle. You got some information about your life before meeting up with this, so I'm curious, as you're walking up, you see Tallie in the distance. I want to touch base. How's Lemon feeling with everything he learned?
Lemon is feeling slightly unsure with how things will go. But with his demeanor and training, per se, still hoping for optimism and feeling that most likely things will turn out fine, or this will most likely be part of Sarenrae's divine plan.
Very good. Okay. So yeah, Tallie, as you're walking along, you can't really miss Lemon.
No.
White robes, blue skin, shock of yellow hair. You see him. But walking kind of like across the street, you see him. You see something else that's pretty familiar to you.
And what is that?
You see a bipedal being about 6 feet tall, walking kind of in an interception pattern towards Lemon. You see that they are 6 feet tall, no real facial features. They're wearing a trench coat. They have 2 pairs of arms, and on the featureless face, you see dim blue eyes glowing as they walk up. And you recognize this to be the form of Jack. Jack is the drone companion of the friend you knew back when before you joined the podcast. Keet,
Yeah.
the Brenneri Mechanic. This drone is walking around, and Lemon, I think you see it just a beat later. You spent some time traveling with Keet. You had some adventures, but the pair of you now see this drone walking up to you, straight up to you. In fact, Lemon and Tallie, as you start to kind of close the distance, the drone shouts up, not shouts, speaks out in a crackly robotic voice. Friends.
Hello. As I walk up.
Lemon will look up. He was holding some sort of a data pad or display unit.
Okay.
Probably looking at something.
Okay.
Almost like kind of staring at it absentmindedly, but he'll turn it off, put it away, and look at Jack and then at Tallie as well. It's like, oh. It let me ask though, does Lemon recognize Jack?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't look any different from when you last hung out. The last time you spent time with Jack and his mechanic owner, Keet, was during the gala of Saving the Ring Crotas, where you all faced off against the terrorist group, the Iso-Wath Conservancy.
So this was his drone, per se, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if this is the drone, where is...
Yeah, Lemon gives an
Keet?
inquisitive look as he looks around.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Any dice? What?
I'm looking at the drone going, where's your friend?
Oh, jeez. Math. 33.
Wow. Yeah, okay, you see Jack lifts up a hand and he points past the pair of you to a building, and in holographic letters it says Noodle Bar.
Well, it's good to see you again, Jack. Lemon looks at Tallie and says, you here?
Akam needed to go to the bar, and troops from Abadar Corp showed up, and he, kind of skedaddled so he wouldn't be seen by them.
Well, this is what happens when you lead a life less than socially acceptable, I guess.
Well, but it is kind of fun, so, I can't really fault him. Plus, it's Abadar Corp. They're a bunch of sticks in the mud. Let's go find our friend.
Lemon kind of raises an eyebrow at her, but follows.
Tallie says sticks in the mud to Lemon.
Yeah, because we all know he's a stick in the mud.
Exactly. So yeah, Jack, still hand pointed towards the ramen noodle bar, walks up, enters, the door whooshes open, and you follow through. And inside this very busy, so this area is kind of like an upscale, it's not ritzy by any means, but it's a respectable neighborhood. So there are people of all walks of life in this ramen bar. Shouts of orders being held across the room. You hear the sizzling of cooking equipment, general chatter of the people sitting around, and you see Jack walk to the back of the area to a booth, and sitting at the booth, we see a Brenneri tucking himself into a meal. And to give the folks an idea of what this Brenneri looks like and what they're eating, we have joining us from the Dice Benders D&D podcast, their GM, and our friend Frog.
Hello. Hi.
Oh, Keet, is so good to see you. Lemon will
My
walk up and
goodness.
put out his hand.
So as you guys are walking up, you guys see me hunched over a bowl of clam chowder, just eating it with utensils, which doesn't always happen. But you see me acting a little more conformed to myself as I go rummaging through this clam chowder, only eating the clams, by the way. So,
Couldn't get oysters, huh?
I look up and hearing this familiar voice, I turn around with this big old beady eyes, otter-like eyes, and this big smile. My whiskers still kind of like covered in some of the chowder, and I go, "Tallie, Lemon!" And I hop out and just rush over to you guys and give you guys big hugs. And I'm only 4.5 feet tall, so I probably just go up to your hug you guys around your waist, basically.
I do my best to try to hug you back. Of course, you've got both of us, so it's probably kind of a challenge for Tallie to get her arm around Keet.
Lemon will hug back as best as he can as he's probably being smushed up against Tallie at the same time.
Guys, it's so good to see you. Hello.
Yes, it's very good to see you as well.
No, I'm so happy.
I wipe the clam chowder from my face, knowing that I probably look like a mess, but wipe it on my clothes, and this big smile does not leave my face. And I say, "What brings you guys back? What brings you back to Absalom?"
Stopover, to be honest, at this moment.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It is basically a stopover, but I believe we got your message.
Oh,
And then we got and then we got your message right outside from Jack here.
Jack.
Yeah. And you see, like, his smile doesn't leave, but his eyes just trail over to Jack with this look of like, I was trying to take a break, sort of look in his eyes.
Well, okay, yeah.
Come, sit. We don't mean to interrupt your meal.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. You can eat. I mean, if nothing else, we're here to say hello and find out how you're doing. We don't have to do anything serious.
And I look over to Jack, and Jack reaches into his trench coat and pulls out a tablet and just like hands it over to me. And I sink slightly, and I say, "Yeah, maybe a little bit longer for a break." And I reach over for the tablet and say, "But I do have to get to business. I'm a pretty busy guy nowadays."
What you doing?
I'm looking around to try to find where these missing people are going.
Yes,
What?
you did mention that.
Uh-huh.
I got 9,000 messages concerned I was one of the missing, because we had gone off planet.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm here, I'm not missing. But
That's
I'm rather concerned because the people missing from, I actually stay at that place.
Yeah, me too. Wow, I can't believe we've never hung out there. What?
So, well, do you want to just catch up, or do you want to actually talk about this? And I'm sorry, Lemon.
Yes, no, who has gone missing exactly?
Well, there was Craig from across the way. He always comes and goes. He must have just disappeared this time permanently. I don't know.
And how many other people have gone missing?
No, that's good. There have been 9 missing, and so the data pad that Jack slid over to you was some of the data retrieved from the scans taken by station security. So if you want to go over some of the data found there while you're chowing down with your friends, give me a computers check to kind of analyze their results. So they have all those results. It's a lot of technical jargon, a lot of graphs and samples. So you give me that check, and meanwhile, Tallie and Lemon, it sounds like you're sitting down at the booth as well.
Yes.
Sure, I'll even eat if it's what's polite and proper. I mean, it's ramen. Who
Yes.
doesn't like ramen?
Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
And I slam my hands down on the table and go,
Brenneri! We've got some people that need assistance.
Yeah, and immediately a hover drone laden tray zips over with a data pad detailing the menu. It's ramen's ramen. It's, you have any combinations you wish. It's you can plug in your credit chip and pay right away, or you can place your orders. Standard ramen fare, good prices. It's not really inflated. Like this neighborhood is nice, but it's not like so nice that a simple bowl of ramen's $25 or 25 credits. Like, it's just going to be a solid 3 credit, good portion size bowl. You see what Keith's tucking into, and it's a good size bowl. So
Yeah, and I'm leaned over the table, my little otter belly kind of like almost tipping my bowl over as I point to the seafood section and say, "That's the best, I promise."
Lemon will purchase something on probably a smaller size dish
Sure.
that probably leans towards vegan or vegetarian.
very good.
Not Tally. Tally will have. God, you know what? Tally can't make up her mind, so she wants a bowl with beef and a bowl of chicken.
Okay, very good. So yeah,
She's a
orders
big
are
girl.
placed. The drone zips back across to the kitchen. Like it's not terribly noisy, but there is like a level of ambient chatter all around you as you're sitting there. Keet, what did you get for your computer check?
25.
Oh, very good.
So
I'm looking-
Lemon does have or I have a question.
Sure.
As Lemon, he has a list of the people.
Yes. Yep.
yeah.
List
Are there
of the
any
missing.
that I recognize?
Yeah,
Or
I'll,
me?
I'll hand him the tablet after I open up the tabs for it and hand it
Sure.
over.
Okay.
And then
yeah,
I look around him. I look over his shoulder. Sure.
Very good. Yeah, you look at it. You've done a fair bit of work with the Starfinders. You and Tally aren't full-time Starfinder agents, but you've done a couple missions for them. So some of the names you may recognize. They have little pictures next to them, and you may be able to like have a little zap of recognition of like, oh, I helped negotiate a deal on Akaton with that person, or I went underwater and met some walrus people with that person, and and you don't know them well. They're just kind of just ancillary people. And just a little background on this. So Starfinder agents come and go. They do their jobs. They do missions, but like it's not like a hard rule you have to check in with everywhere you're at. So the fact that they have been officially been declared missing means that some investigation has already been done into these people with the Starfinder Society, and looking through the results, you see that Starfinder venture captains have been interviewed about these missing people, and none of them were said to have been on missions. There are 9, including the Vesk named Craig that Keet mentioned.
Wow.
So
Yeah, and I relay all of that as you're looking through it as well, just to catch you guys up.
Lemon will look for the individual that he probably has the most familiarity with, most likely interacted with the most, or has the most personal knowledge of.
Okay.
And then Lemon will cast a spell.
Oh.
Lemon
right.
will cast No Coordinates.
Mm-hmm.
When he casts this, his hand goes out and a flame appears. And then the flame will take the shape, almost like a holographic shape, of Absalon Station.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me explain the spell.
Sure, please.
So, no coordinates. It's first level divination spell. You learn the exact location of one creature on the same planetary body as you, up to the size of a large planet, such as a gas giant. You must be able to identify the creature clearly from personal knowledge of who they are. If you and the creature you identify are not of the same planet-sized body, the spell fails. You can input the coordinates into any computer attached to the infosphere on the same planet to find general directions. If you use the piloting skills navigation task to reach the coordinates, these directions make you familiarly seldom visited, which is a DC 15, even if the area would normally be unfamiliar.
And when you start to do that and it starts to show in your hands, Keat's eyes just glow and he just goes,
How are you doing that?
When did you learn to do that?
So the first question is, does it succeed? And actually, let me get to the actual book. Check something because I believe there is a DC against this. Is it in the base book? I forget. Let's check quickly. Oh, character operations manual. So I need to open up that book.
No DC is needed because if you were to use a piloting skill to navigate, there would be when piloting there would be one to like track it down. But as you're on the same planet-sized body, the spell does work. You see the shape of Absalom. It's a bit like a top. It's got the jutting outsides, the bubble in the center. That is the rich part of town. And then going down in this spike is the down low, where poor neighborhoods like Bot Scrap, the ghost levels, and where a lot of the engineering of the station itself is kind of held. And you see this, this kind of fiery hologram. You see there's like a starburst about 2/3 of the way down on there. It's a rough part of town, part of the station. But yeah, you ping off of a Lashunta male, a Karashu Lashunta, and this is one that you must have spent some time with because the other ones you kind of look, you skim, none of them really like leap out at you, but it's Lashunta with their antenna on their face, like it like kind of strikes a chord in you, and yeah, you know, down to about a block, almost pretty accurate coordinates that you can now plug into a data pad.
I will then put it in to the data pad that Keith has placed in front of me.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's connected to the infosphere.
Absolutely. Yep.
So basically, on my hand, the image of Absalon Station, another flame of a different color appears in the coordinate location in the holographic image of it. I believe we have found one. Luckily, they are still on Absalon Station.
Ah.
And then I will put the coordinates in. And then after that, the flame goes out, the hologram disappears.
Okay. And just as everything disappears, that trade-laden hover drone zips back over with your steaming bowls of piping hot ramen, and you can kind of tuck in as we fade out from this ramen bar and go to another portion of Absalom Station. This part is in the eye, the where large skyscraper-like towers are, big open-air parks. It's almost like you're on a planet's surface. No kind of dingy corridors, no artificial lighting. Everything's exposed to space, but with a protective bubble over everything. And the sun is shining bright. The traffic is buzzing lively as Captain Brasha walks up the steps of the government building known as the Planara.
Trot.
So, Brasha, you're walking around. This area is where the movers and shakers of the system, of the station, in the system. This is kind of like the Coruscant Senate building of the Pact Worlds. So there are beings of all kinds, any kind that you've seen in your adventuring days, your not pirating days. You're not a pirate. Perfectly legitimate businessman days. They're all walking around. Everyone's really dressed up very nicely. So I imagine, Brasha, your outfit. Tell me what Brasha's rocking as he's walking up these steps.
That's a good question.
Okay.
Okay. Part of my refigurable clothing is
That's it.
formal clothing.
Mm.
So he will flick his captain's jacket, and it will reconform to a like dress jacket with slacks, and then still like boots and an ascot. But much more of like he's going to a very elegant ball than anything, and he'll kind of look up at the Planara and from the outside and go, well, I suppose dealing with Vesk, perhaps I'm a bit overdressed, but I suppose I don't have much else of a choice. I'm going to blend in.
Okay. So yeah, you're making your way up there. There's dozens of people just milling around, going about their business. Hover drones passing messages, recording. Like, this is a very busy area. And yeah, there's quite a lot of people. So you get to the top of the stairs, and a solid 60 feet away down the stairs, climbing as good as they might, standing 2.5 feet tall, is your your Normian travel companion, Grabfor, and you see them struggling to keep pace with you.
Well, let's sink or swim.
Okay. So you don't pause at all. You continue on. So you walk in the doors, like it's like all open air. You know, if there were any sort of problem, you look around, you see that blast doors would go down, but everything's open. This is more or less the safest place in the galaxy, you'd imagine. And you're also wielding a dimensionally sealed weapon that can fucking vaporize people. But you walk in, and there are people all around. There's the Grand Assembly. There's a directory of all the places. Tell me, what's the plan here? You're here. You want to talk? Who do you want to talk to? And we'll go from there.
I would like to talk to the Vesk leader of probably military strategy.
Okay. So give me this is even a culture check. So the Pact Worlds is its own governmental body. The planets and starships that count as planets in this solar system are all held under this government. The Veskarium is a separate empire. They have an embassy here, definitely, but more likely than not, you're going to find an emissary of military planning, is what you said?
Yeah. And if they don't have military available, then perhaps like expansion.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, this is good. So the Vesk Empire, the Veskarium, it's entirely military. They don't do the Star Trek Federation diplomacy expansion. They are confirmed in the Galactic Exploration Manual a lawful evil government. They are entirely ruled by a militaristic leadership style. So they do have an embassy here, as the Pact Worlds has signed a ceasefire. They aren't, like, the two systems aren't one and one. They are there's a bit tense relations with these two groups, but because of the swarm invasion from a couple decades back, the two systems and governments and militaries combined forces to push them back. So they have an embassy here. There's a portion of the Absalom station called the Vesk Quarter. That's kind of like Chinatown, but in Chinatown, it's full of Vesk and their people. But they do have an embassy here. You see that there is an entire floor devoted to Veskarium ventures, so you can easily find it. You don't need to. I don't need any checks for this. It's busy. People all around you. You get onto a lift. Grab 4 finally catches up to you, and you rocket up to this floor. And when it opens up, it's as if you were transported to a temple. It's as if you were transported to like a government building in the Veskarium. All the kind of Pact Worlds architecture makes way to all Vesk. Everything in here looks Vesk. They've completely transformed this area to look like they're back in their home system. So there's sconces. The Veskarium are a very. It's kind of a reductive to say they're the Klingons of Starfinder, but they are very much honor, duty bound, pretty Spartan. They're more focused on might makes right than diplomacy or anything like that. So as you walk along these halls, you see that the majority of the staff here are all wearing thick ceremonial armor. They're not wearing like business attire. This isn't, the New York Stock Exchange. This is very much a war room situation. And you get a few paces in, and a lumbering, green-skinned Vesk walks up, sneers down at you. What can we help you with?
Greetings. I need to speak with someone about the Veskarium's somewhat halted expansion in some of its more primitive planets.
This way. And she turns, female, haven't asked, but she turns and beckons you and starts walking you along. What did you mean?
When she turns, I sneer a little bit myself, straighten my ascot and bend down to grab for it and go, well, no accounting for taste in this place, eh, grab for?
She's already walked stomping down the hall, and as you, I imagine, follow, she calls back. What did you mean by halted? Our Veskarium has never been, our empire has never been stronger.
Perhaps not halted, but delayed. I know for a fact that there have been numerous territories that have seen significant delays, whether due to a stronger resistance than expected or natural resistances that have not been overcome.
You took a long time to say very little. And she enters an office and sits down. It's more of a conference room, just flanked by tons of computers. I am qualified to discuss matters of the Empire, but what information do you have that would lead me to report back home?
Well, first of all, I would like to know who I'm speaking to.
Good question. I am Jeboda.
And
yes.
Your rank and title, please, if you wouldn't mind.
I am the second claw of Clan. Look for a random word. Clan Steel Core. Better write that down. I am tasked with overseeing our progress with diplomacy with these Pact World members. But it's good to see someone from my home system. Your accent, I take it you are from Vesk 6.
Indeed. And that is also how I know personally, or firsthand, I suppose, that your forces have been somewhat lackluster in their expansion.
if you are speaking of your home, we have things well in control. But I will hear your information. Where do you feel we could improve?
Well, you say you have things well in control, and it's true that the natives are not going to interfere with your business, but you don't really have the iron strong grip around the planet that you do of others within the system. In fact, many who still live on the planet still refer to it as Polonis.
She intakes a hiss. It is Vesk 6.
To you and I, yes. But to those on the surface, not so much.
And you are here to report on rebel activities? You would betray your kind for in service of your empire?
Oh, my kind do not live on the planet. My kind are the engineers, the tinkerers, the searchers of knowledge. The people who live on the planet are people who distance themselves as far away as possible from such activities.
Well, what have you tinkered to help aid our efforts?
Now we are getting to business. I have recently come into contact with a civilization who uses storms of the planet-wide variety to hide their presence from the swarm. And while I was on said planet, I noticed that these storms were significantly similar to the storms on Vesk 6. They were using a machine to aggravate the atmosphere and create a thicker cloud cover, stronger ion storms, as it were. I have the designs for this machine, and if given a short amount of time and a reasonable incentive, I could easily reverse engineer a way to make a machine that does the opposite.
You see Jabota's eyes widen at that last bit. You get the feeling that she was about to remind you that Vesk 6, for listeners that may not know, definitely doesn't need any more storm clouds. They have... do you want to talk a little bit about Vesk 6, or do you want me to kind of rattle off some info?
You can rattle it off.
Oh, thanks. So, Vesk 6 is a smaller world. It's got one supercontinent that makes up the majority of the land. There's no ice caps, but one of the key features of this are massive jungles with dozens of mega flora and fauna all around to kind of... It's not quite Blue People Avatar, but like the large creatures and beasts kind of give that vibe. So when the Vesk took over Vesk 6, back then it was called Pulonis, the home world of the Patra, they resisted. The Patra resisted the Vesk. Their technology was nowhere near as advanced as the Vesk Empire, but where the Patra kind of prevailed was using the environment to their benefit. Guerrilla war fighting, using the land to their benefit. Eventually, though, the Vesk wore them out and installed cities, like proper cities. But another aspect of Vesk 6 is the atmosphere just covered in magnetic winds and just torrential storms all around. And so when they built these cities, they built these large contraptions that are generate a magnetic field, like a force field around the cities. And this has been good. This works out pretty well. It repels it quite nicely, but expansion on Vesk 6 is a bit slow because as soon as you set something up, you need to have one of these magnetic shields put in place to repel the they refer to it as towering trees, gigantic insects, and other titanic flora and fauna. So it's kind of a slow progress to whip Vesk 6 into shape. But hearing that this citizen of the Empire, to Jabota's thinking, has some technology to aid that. Before I send a message all the way to the Veskarium, I will need some sort of proof besides your honeyed words regarding its veracity. You understand?
Of course. Well, do you have any experience in engineering or, mechanical aptitude, or is Clan Steelcore more of a Doshko first, ask questions later?
A lucky guess.
Indeed.
I could forward your information to our researchers and have them do the scans, and you would be properly compensated. Would you be willing to part with a copy of said data?
Well, see, right now you are asking me to give up valuable information, really invaluable information, for the promise of future compensation. How about instead, I will leave my contact information for you to pass along to your engineers, and I will speak to them personally.
I risk my integrity, placement, and honor with this. I have to have some assurances I won't be laughed out of the Conqueror's Forge when sending this message.
You say you risk your honor. I have risked far worse, trust me. But I can give you a very basic breakdown of the blueprints for your engineers to study. That should give them a basic idea without giving up too much of my own personal investment in this project. Does that sound fair to you, Madam Jabota?
Give me a diplomacy check. Or bluff if you're lying about giving her. You lying bastard.
No, this is straight diplomacy.
Right on. I just know you like to call for bluff checks.
I am technically better at bluff, but that's still a 28.
Okay. Right on. I suppose with your name attached to it, they could just hunt you down if you are making a fool out of me. And make no mistake, if this is a ruse to shake my position in the Empire, I will seek retribution.
First of all, the Veskarium is hunted more for less. Second of all, until 12 minutes and 48 seconds ago, I did not know who you were. Why would I bother trying to shake your position?
It is a lofty position to represent our empire in foreign lands. Many could wish to usurp my position and use a fool to shake that.
Well, no offense, but you are still at the position of meeting outsiders who didn't even bother to set up appointments. So, truly, I believe that you should really strive for a higher position. Your diplomatic skills are second to none that I have experienced, at least within the Veskarium. Or the higher reaches of it, at least.
And if what you say is true, I need to look up a term for the leader of... 1 second, please.
And if what you say is true, Commander Dickass is sure to give me a promotion.
Basically. And if what you say is true and our combined efforts on Vesk 6, I could replace High Despot Kavadros and rule Vesk 6.
High Despot... You said
give me a culture check.
Cadaverate?
Give me a culture check. Kavadros. Kavadroz.
Culture check?
Mm-hmm.
What do you set those? 22.
Okay. High Despot Kadavros rules Vesk 6. Kavad.
Yeah, Kavadros.
Yeah, Kavadros.
That time you said Cadavros.
Oh, sorry. Kavadros is you. So we haven't really discussed like your childhood and your upbringing, but you are from Vesk 6, so you would be fairly familiar with this person.
Well, I'm from Polonus, but yeah.
We can do this all day. Kavadros is considered to be one of the more open-minded of the Vesk in the military high command, and is known to, rather than utilizing the brute force of Vesk, rather they prefer to have Patra specialists in their command.
Then I'll kind of chuckle at her saying that and say, please, you wouldn't want to sully your hands with his position. Aim even higher.
Let's not count our Ichtikri before they hatch.
Well, in any case, give me a few moments to work with these blueprints, and I can get a copy to you soon.
Okay. So we're going to turn the clock a little bit. You're going to spend some time doing this. You do it. They give me a sense motive.
I can do that.
I'm sure you can. I believe in you.
I have a rank in it.
You have a rank in it. So
Ooh, okay, so I rolled a 1.
okay.
So that is 16.
My God. Yeah, with the 16, you see that when you first entered, she was put upon, then mildly curious, then a bit more apprehensive, and then after looking at this, you see her kind of skimming the data pad, and from what she was talking about, if she's even in a private conversation talking about potentially becoming a high despot being the ruler of each of the worlds in the Veskarium, her ambition is kind of all-consuming her at this point, and I cannot make heads or tails of this. I will send it to my people before we send it to the Veskarium, but due to travel times, it may be some time before we get back to you. I will take your contact information, and we can see where this road takes us.
Well, I believe this road will take us to lots and lots of money.
And she kind of cackles as well. And we're going to fade out from that scene. Push on a little bit. You are walking down the steps. Grabfor is having a much easier time of going down these steps as you see him riding on a wave of dirt. And you see him do this. He's manipulating his arms as like a swimming motion, and you see that he had uprooted a plant on the Veskarium embassy's floor and is using that as a bit of a wave to propel him further along. So he actually beats you to the bottom of the stairs.
Ah,
And-
Crabfor, you've left a trail of dirt leading up. That is going to be so much easier to sweep up than simply spreading it all out. Come on. Really get artistic with it. Spread it all over these steps. Come on, come on.
Okay, so Grab4 nods their head really fast. You see them jump into the air, and then they have 6 arms. No, that's I don't want them to be too close to Skittermanders. They have 4 arms, and they jump up and then clap all 4 of their hands together, and at the same time, it just shoots it all over, and it's as if a smoke grenade went off, but dirt. A giant dust cloud pushes all this dirt from the center where he jumps, and it's just all over the place. And people walking by start coughing. You start hearing muttering of people. You definitely hear people denigrate the savage, uncouth alien that's throwing dirt around, and you're kind of getting dirty looks, figuratively and literally, from beings as they walk past you. Like you just did this on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, basically.
I start walking away and notice some of the dust like landing on my jacket and give my coat a flick, and it goes back into my captain's gear, and I just strut away with Grab4 in tow.
Okay.
Now
Cool.
that was art.
Some more time passed, and I'm going to say like all of the first scene and then the second scene kind of happens at the same time. So your business concluded. Brasha, you're still in the eye. You can ring up Tallie, Lemon, or Occam to touch base with them.
Oh yeah, I'm going to I'm going to shoot messages to all of them, and just say, you know what? I'll even include Gabo in this.
Oh my god. Okay.
Uh,
So quick refresher. Sig went with Occam. Gabo, Koof, went to join the Starfinder Society. So he's no longer in our party, but yeah, you get.
Oh yeah, never mind. I thought we left someone at the ship.
No, you sent him away. You said go join the Starfinder Society, so we
Yes.
did.
Were we
Yeah.
gonna leave Sig at the ship then?
You started to leave Grab4, but Grab4 wanted to come with you, and then you were like, come on, you little scamp.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
We have what's her name?
Karina's at the ship.
Yeah, that's
Karina's at the ship.
Okay, yeah. Karina will also get included in this then.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, this
not Gabo.
not
or
Gabo.
Stig.
Have you removed both of them from the group chat?
No, not from the group chat. I'm sending this out as individual messages.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, this goes out, and
It's just a heads up. I've finished. Well, I've at least finished my business on Absalom for today. I'm going to do a little bit of shopping. Let me know if you need me. I'll hop over to you.
okay. So a big. So just real quick, the big kind of common shopping area is called the crap. Free markets. Let me
Called the
double check
crap.
that. It's called the crap. No, it's on. It's not the hive markets because that's on Akaton. That both Frog and Eric will remember. Haha! You son of a bitch.
I don't remember it. What?
Hive markets where you met the people and fought and Fly for Your Die. Never mind.
Who?
Fly for Your Die,
The series that
the Starfinder game we played. That's not this. You are the worst.
although he and I didn't play it together.
I tried to have a nice moment.
Shows you.
Yeah, so a common area. So you are at Planera. I'm looking at the map now. Drifter's End is a little further south, but so the free markets is the big shopping center area. Tons of buildings, megaplexes, malls of various kinds. Some that are environmentally protected to where, like, if you're a water breathing species, like, they have a whole ass megaplex where those kind of people can go there. But yeah, you can head to the free markets to start spending some money. Tallie, Lemon, you're sitting in the ramen bar. You've finished your bowls, both big and small, of ramen, and you get this message. And we're going to go over to you for a little bit.
I will message back to where exactly we are at, and they got sidetracked. The Akam went poof. Had some Avatar Corp. What you said? An Avatar Corp Death Squad. Jeez.
That's what Akam thought he saw.
Akam thought he said Avatar. He said. I think he said something like, "Jeez, it's the cops," and disappeared. Or "Jeez, it's the Avatar cops." There we go. And he scuttled off. But we are working on the disappearances I mentioned. Oh, we met an old friend. So we're here if you want to come here. Otherwise, we can meet you there, probably. Message all that.
Yep, I will. I'm pasting a picture of a map of Absalom Station. So Absalom Station, I describe it as the New York of the area. It's only about 5 miles area, and I feel like maps kind of, you lose a little something with the scaling when you say stuff like that, and then you look at the pictures. But the picture you have, you guys are in Drifter's End. That's further south of the surface here. The Planara is kind of the midway point, and then further north is the free markets. So for him to go to the free markets and go down to meet you is a little out of his way. So
I still message where we're at and what we're up to.
Okay.
And I'll reply saying, I'm heading to the free markets right now. You're welcome to join me, or afterwards I will meet up with you. Your choice. P.S. Akim, this one I send only to Tallie. P.S. Akim always thinks he sees Abadar death squads. Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, message back, but it's kind of annoying because we were headed to do his business and he fucked off.
I send a shrugging gif back.
This is fine. I'll see you later. And I, close up my comm or whatever I'm messaging on.
Right on. So yeah, okay, yeah. So just a little bit of housekeeping. You have the coordinates to where this person is. Lemon, they did not seem to, like, when you held up the thing, they did not seem to be moving. They were not in transit at all. They are kind of staying there. So you don't really have a way of knowing, unless you have augury prepared to, like, know. You could start going down to the ghost levels by yourselves. You, Tallie, Keet, and Jack. Or you could go to the free markets, spend some of your well-earned jewels towards better equipment to go down more prepared with Brasha in tow and possibly Occam, depending on how Occam does.
I do not plan on spending any money yet. I'll wait until I've gotten the rest of the money, so to speak.
Okay, sure.
Most of the gear I have anyways is pretty much the range I'm looking at for now.
Right on, yeah. I was just kind of giving you some options here. You can, so is Lemon, what's Lemon's stance? You guys can hash this out as characters where you're...
So, I guess part of the thing was through Keet's investigation or any other is there any other information from any, like, the Pathfinder Society itself or the stewards or any other group that may be participating in the search for these missing individuals? Do they have any extra information that we don't have, like suspected motives, if this matches any type of known disappearances, if there were any clues left behind.
Okay.
Like,
Yep,
everybody that disappeared, there was a strange smell of, like, I don't know, seaweed in the air.
Okay, no, that's a fair point, and this will go back to Keat's initial computer check to look over the data pad of the reports that were shared with you with station security, and going over it, we kind of got held up once we got to the people, but more information was shared. There was a heavy quantities of like engine oil, which tracks with less than savory, well, less than clean people. There were boot prints that didn't match people who were frequently there. The scans detected, like, you scan a room, like they could scan, like, oh, this person comes here a lot, this person doesn't. There were deposits of kind of like just grime, which indicates that it is probably someone engineering type. Like, that's the best kind of description I can give you. Like, they weren't, walking around in nice dress shoes kind of details. And that kind of ties in with your no location or no coordinates. I can't remember which one it is, but that spell you cast.
Yeah.
It's that corroborates that down there it's there aren't beautiful parks, there aren't nice trams that zip around for free. It's very rough and tumble. It's where the kind of not lower class, like they're legit lower class, but just the less fortunate live. And as a healer in the Church of Sarenrae, I imagine you've probably made your way down there at least once, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go out and do some healing. That's kind of a common thread. Serenites sometimes go to less fortunate neighborhoods and provide free healing with their abilities. So kind of all points towards your spell being accurate, and that's where at least that person's being helped. But no other, this doesn't match any records of other crimes. It's peculiar that it's the Starfinder Society being targeted. General missing persons happen, but to be localized in one building is extremely peculiar.
And how long over the course of how long were they disappeared?
Just in the last 2 weeks.
Just in the last 2 weeks, and there were no cameras didn't catch anything, thermosensors.
So
no strange encounters, testimonies.
Yeah, nothing so much. I mean, there's people report, like you go on. So if you were to go on the infosphere, give me a computer check, actually.
Oh, I cannot.
Okay.
I will ask these questions, but I have nothing.
Sure. So
that would
yeah,
not
you guys
be
are
me
discussing
either.
this. Okay, sitting at the table, you're talking about this amongst each other. I'm pretty sure Keith's got some computer skills, right?
I kind of look at the thing. Do I swipe left to find out?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Hand it here. What do you need?
Do they have any? What do they call it? The video streams of odd individuals entering in.
And as you are describing this here, Keet has the tablet in his hands, but he's just giving you the blankest eyes as you're talking until you finish, and he just stares at you for a beat before he goes, "Ah!" and he starts looking in the tablet.
Okay. Yeah, give me a computer check as you start searching the infosphere for strange dealings, strange sightings.
27.
27. Okay. You see people swear that they suspect their neighbors are practicing dark magics. You see people swear that people have been body snatched. You've seen reports of a starship unloading whole crowds of what look like frog people. Like there's just kind of crack theories all around on the infosphere, and there's not a whole lot about Starfinders other than the Starfinder Society is heavily recruiting. The year after the Scoured Stars incident, they're bouncing back. Numbers are looking good. The only Starfinder stuff you see is bar scuffles with Starfinder agents who are a little over exuberant in their celebrations, but nothing really kind of links up with what Lemon was kind of hinting at. So there's nothing really there. It's just peculiar.
Yeah, it just looks like a whole lot of word of mouth. People apparently seeing dark magics or having questions about this stuff. I don't know. Like that much I don't understand. But you know, I could just go boop boop on computers and things usually pop up. But this one is you know, I don't have magic holograms like you have with your hand.
That's quite all right. It helps, but to be honest, in today's world, it's better to have an understanding of technology. I find it's
Yeah,
very difficult when trying to order the right foods and you don't know which button to press.
Yeah, I could teach you how to boop boop on a computer if you teach me how to do the zoom thing on your hand.
Well, mine comes a little bit different than those who call themselves technomancers. Mine comes from a bit of a other source. I guess you could say I'm the data pad to a larger infosphere of sorts.
Tallie looks kind of impressed there.
Thank you. I was just about to ask Tally's reaction to that. Wow.
I look to Jack and I say, "Could you record that line? That was pretty good." By the way, I'm writing poetry now, guys. So
You are? Can we hear some?
I actually know a place where I think you could read it off. I go there every once in a while.
Where?
Not surprised by this.
It's
Tallie would know.
It's called the Flaming Daisy. It's a little place that a number of young Serenites go to express their faith and feelings. But there's a bit of a bohemian night every other Thursday, I believe.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, Tallie's like.
yeah, you see everything you just said kind of glazed over his head, like, and Keith's just staring at you blankly with a smile on his face, like nodding to what you're saying, even though he has no idea what you're talking about.
Keet, you can go there and read your poetry aloud. I think that's what he's saying.
Yes.
Other people read their poetry aloud.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it.
You kind of put me on the spot here. Hey, Jack. Which one's your favorite one that I wrote?
Newest.
Jack, repeat what Lemon just said like 2 minutes ago. Never mind. I know he can't do it yet.
So you know, to touch on that, like Jack, who Tallie Lemon, you spent some time with. Jack can only respond in one-word responses at this point. So they try to repeat Lemon's phrase about being a data pad of a larger infosphere, but it's just like data pad 6, 12, 30 seconds past infosphere. So it's very disjointed. But I do want to touch base with Tallie. Does Tallie want to do any shopping or anything, or does she want to? What?
I don't. I'm kind of in the same boat. My equipment's all pretty good.
Okay.
I know I could probably upgrade my armor at some point, but I kind of anxious about the missing people. And if we're actually, and what I will do is actually, I would have put that in the whole spiel I sent over to Brasha about where was exactly the district that the blip came in on again?
Down in the lower areas of the spike. You didn't get an exact neighborhood name because I haven't made up one yet. But it's you do know that it's down near the ghost levels, and Brasha, being Brasha, he's probably pretty familiar with that part of town.
Yeah, so I basically I let him know that we're actually going to head there soon, I think.
Okay.
What time can you meet us there? Or how long from now can you meet us there?
I have some materials to pick up, but don't think I want Crab for hanging around that area. I'll send him back with whatever I buy and head over right away.
Alrighty, we'll see you there.
Cool.
Yeah,
and
we'll
I'll
obviously
also
we'll also give him a street and everything to meet at.
exactly. I was just about to
Yeah,
say. Yeah,
I'm assuming there's like a station or some type of like like a subway station equivalency point that we can meet up at.
Sure. Yeah, you get
There's like a massive amusement park there for some reason.
Sure. Yeah, there's a fun place like right where the nice neighborhoods end and the shitty ones kind of begin. There's an amusement park where the haves and have-nots mingle and eat stale popcorn together. Sure, you can send coordinates to that. But yeah, that's what happens. You send that off. So Eric, do you have the stuff you want to buy listed? Do you want to go over that, or do you want that to be a surprise for later?
Primarily, it's just converting gems into UPVs. I do want to purchase a dye grenade.
Okay. Just one?
Yeah, just one level 2 dye grenade.
Okay.
And sorry, I lost my pen.
All good.
So it'll be 320, and then yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's just
All right.
UPBs and the one dye grenade right now.
Right on. So I'm just going to hand wave stuff. We got a good momentum going. I don't want to bog things down with trivial stuff. So you don't hear from Occam, either of you, in the hour and a half where you depart from the ramen bar, you pay your tabs. It's still quite busy. Sorry?
Hey, I'll message him and see if he's okay.
Okay. You don't get anything back.
Oh, that's
You
not
get
good.
nothing back from him, and Sig doesn't have a comm unit. So in that 90 minutes, Brasha, you take care of your business, grab for loaded down with a backpack full of stuff. He's the size of a small creature, so it's not like terribly too much. But then you send him off back to the spaceport where the bizarre encounter is.
Yeah, and I give him does he doesn't have a comm unit either.
He doesn't, but they're hella cheap. I like 5 credits, if that.
7 credits.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so I will buy one for him.
Uh-huh.
So I'll mark that down, 7 credits. And upload it with the blueprints for some cheap item.
Okay.
And be like, okay, when you get back to the ship, I want you to work on this, and do your best. Okay, you've got. Don't spend more than like 100 UPBs on this. That's like 50 tries, but I want you to try your hardest and just do it step by step. Okay, buddy? Okay.
They clap their hands, and in your head, you telepathically get excitement, ready, okay, goodbye, and they scuffle away. And I just want to peek behind the curtain. There's no curtains here; it's too hot for curtains. Just a peek behind my dumb brain. I was going to have him craft anyway. I was gonna have him practice crafting, so it's so awesome to me that you were in the same mindset there. So yeah, you send them off. Tallie, Lemon, Keet, you pay up your tabs, 3 credits each, and make sure you note that, and make your way down. And we're just going to turn the clock, and outside this amusement park where you see garish lights flashing, there's no sunlight down here. No open windows. It's all kind of mundane, but the flashing lights of the rides, the screaming crowds, the music playing, you all meet up. Brasha, you walk up and you see Tallie, Lemon standing next to a Brenneri with next to some sort of cybernetic fella. And also, so could you give me another physical description of Keet, please?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I don't think I described what he actually looks like. I did not know. He basically just looks like a 4-foot otter with a little bit of a gut, not like a beer belly, but he's got a little bit of a gut. I've described his face pretty quite often. Very otter-like with beady eyes, long whiskers. His fur is brown with some red highlights. And he's wearing a suit that is the Starfinder, like the base Starfinder uniform, nothing too fancy. However, it is just like you do see patches of what looks like oil and grease, as you would see he being a mechanic. He really does look into the part of that.
Cool.
I think that's everything.
I was gonna say I know what kind. It's that is an oyster gut, by the way.
Absolutely.
It's an oyster belly.
And the entire walk there, he was just talking to the two of you, just catching up because it's been a long time. You guys were like his closest friends, because for him, you guys were really what helped bring Keet out of his world, I guess you can say. So he is so happy that you guys are here, and he's just trying to really catch up and just make sure that you guys were safe and okay to your whole endeavors.
Tallie seems to be equally as happy to have him back.
On the way there, I would assume both Lemon and probably Tallie would be pitching in quite as much too.
Yeah.
Retell the exploits in meeting the Acrulians and such, and the events leading up to it.
Wow, you guys went through a lot.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? And it was such a short time too.
Still, not nearly as much as those survivors went through.
I know, me too.
I do hope they'll be okay.
I was gonna say, and even then, I mean, we were all so suspicious, and it was all on the level. I feel kind of silly about the whole thing now.
Do not feel silly. The situation was
Yeah, sounds
bizarre
like you
at
guys did the
best.
best with what you had.
And to most individuals, I believe the same feeling would come over them. It is good that it was not what we feared. But yes, it's always best to be prepared for the worst. Once I see Brasha, I will there he is. I can begin. And once he's close enough, I will cast Healer's Bond on the three of them, so that I basically can monitor them and their status the whole time. I will then also cast Life Bubble upon the group.
Very awesome.
I do that just in case of
smart
surprises.
I take it you guys told Keet about Brasha and Occam.
Oh yeah. That would have been part of it. Oh yeah, we found this new.
Yeah.
We're part of this crew and took a job with them, and they're really cool.
Oh, the name sounds familiar. Occam. I feel like I know that from somewhere.
Do you?
And I think so.
Well,
Jack, do I?
What about Brasha? I mean, they sort of traveled together.
No, the closest thing I've heard is Brockham.
Brockham? You mean
Yeah,
Occam?
something like that. Maybe.
And
did you just ship them together, Brockham?
That might be it.
You know, Occam would probably kill you for actually, they probably kill you for suggesting such a thing.
Oh man.
They think they secretly like each other a whole lot, but they argue a lot.
It's, everything that you've told me makes me feel like they do. I don't know. Maybe maybe I can tell if I see them in person.
Tallie's laughing. Tallie's laughing as much as I am.
I've grown quite insightful in these last couple months.
I can't wait to see this.
While they're doing
Okay,
this,
good. 11.
Lemon has been casting augury.
Okay. So yeah, walk me through this because your spells are so awesomely theatrical. Tell me about this.
So, since I do not, for this one, once again, a flame or images of a flame will begin to appear as I cast it, and I ask the action that we are going to partake in to see if this will be beneficial or if it'll be bad. And the action I'll be asking for: will seeking out the individual we find be beneficial to them?
Okay, yeah. You cast this. It takes a minute to cast this. So like a solid minute of you standing there, and occasionally, passersby will see the strange fella in robes just casting magic for a very long time, and some of them will stop and like wait, like thinking you're like a magician. Like you just like eventually you'll have like a crowd of kids just waiting, and eventually a gout of red flame will shoot up from your hand, and all the kids like, yay, do it again.
I will token spell some flames on each of their heads. Like, non-burning flames, like, just like fun little flames. Maybe they'll have little smiley faces on them.
On their heads?
Yeah, they're not going to burn their heads or anything. They're non-harmful flames. It's just like an illusionary, little chibi flame on their heads.
Right on. So you do this.
That is just precious.
The kids are cheering. You see like a very haggard-looking half-elf woman walk up to you and shake your hand. I recognize your garments. You're a Serenite, yes?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Are you feeling all right? Does she look exhausted?
She looks exhausted. Bags under her eyes. Like elves being the byproduct of elven ancestry, this one is definitely leaning towards the other half of their heritage right now because they do not look graceful and ageless at all. So she pulls out a cred stick and passes you 5 credits.
I wave it away. Keep it. Give them some treats. Or purchase some leisure time for yourself.
I will. Thank you. Blessings of Sarah and Ray upon you.
Yeah, no, I will do that. I will actually cast lesser restoration on her and remove either fatigued or exhaustion.
Okay. Yeah, you see it. So we haven't really seen this much. What does this look like when it washes over her?
This one doesn't have really a flame style effect.
Okay.
This simply is I place a hand upon her and there'll be a slight glow, like the ambient light in the area goes up slightly.
Sure.
But it basically washes away, almost like a heat massage, I guess.
Sure.
Of fatigue or exhaustion. And if she had any temporary...
She didn't have any non-lethal damage. Yeah, she didn't have any non-lethal damage from exhaustion. No, she's just dog tired. And this washes over her, and you see her rise up to her full height. Thank you again so much. I will treat the kids to a very fun night. Thank you all, and have a good night, all of you. And she like...
You too.
I'll wave to them all.
She does like awkward bows.
Be nice and pay attention to your mother.
They're long gone. They're screaming kids. They're already
okay.
Headed towards a ball pit of some kind. So as this happens, replacing where this formerly tired half-elven woman stands Captain Brasha in full captain regalia.
Perfect timing now that that squadron has left. Lemon, Tallie, how are you?
I am fine, and here we have somebody we want you to meet.
Yes, you mentioned an old friend. I am assuming that is you, although I see 2 of you now.
Hi.
Good.
Hello.
Hi.
This is Keet.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
You're Brockham, right?
I am Captain Brackham real name. I'm surprised you have heard of me.
I think I've heard of you. Jack, have I heard of him? Oh, this is my drone, Jack.
Can I get a sense if Jack is like a robot or an SRO? Just off glance.
I think that you could definitely tell that he's a drone. Taking a quick glance at Keet, he definitely does give off mechanic vibes just because of how dirty his clothes are and stuff.
Then with Jack, I kind of just tip my hat and say, good to meet you as well, Jack.
Greetings. And I was muted for a moment, so my bad. So yeah, with there's not really passive perception per se in Starfinder. Brasha's passive engineering is such that I ease off of how many checks I ask for him because it's just insulting. You definitely can get the idea that this is a work of engineering that, judging by the frayed wires poking out of the torso region that aren't really connected to anything, they're just kind of out there ready for other components to be plugged in. This is definitely a non-sentient drone, no soul included.
Yeah, this is my best friend. Except for these two.
Yeah,
They're even more of my best friends.
I'd hope so.
That's like double best. Yeah.
That's quite a few best friends. I
Yeah,
have
I
one
have,
best
like-
friend, and we mostly get along.
What's his name? Occam?
Indeed. Have you heard of him as well?
I think so.
He does a fairly popular radio show nowadays.
That's it. Yeah, I listened to a radio show. What's my favorite song that he plays? What's it? Rage Against the Gears. That's it.
I've always been a little impartial to that one. Gears are our friends, I find.
Yeah.
I look at Jack one more time.
I also turn my attention towards Jack when I say it.
In a robotic voice, you hear, "Revolution!"
Silly Jack. I taught him that word the other day.
I look very concerned.
Very good. So you're all together, screaming kids behind you, lifts and ramps going up to the nicer part of Absalom Station above you, and ahead of you, the grimy, dirty down low of the spike of Absalom Station awaits. And I think I'm gonna kind of close it off here, honestly, because like next time, it's like I have stuff prepped, but as soon as I get going, it's just gonna go off to a cliffhanger. This is just a nice, peaceful moment. Tallie, did you want to say anything before we close off?
I was gonna leave it on a. I was thinking to leave it at a cliffhanger, going, Brasha, have you heard from Occam at all? Because I haven't. I tried contacting him. He did not answer. And it's kind of disconcerting with all these people missing.
True, but Occam frequently goes missing.
Okay, I will take your word for it.
Have
He
you
likes-
tried shouting Marco?
Yeah, Marco. Or should we
Keet almost says polo, but stops himself.
If we could go. Well, I don't. I can't figure out a way to make Bracca work there. But
I'll send Occam a text that just says,
where
"Hey,
you at,
we're
bro?
going into the Spire. Let us know if you get caught by those quote-unquote death squads."
Best friends. Friends till the end.
Hey, wait. Can I reach down, put a little heart on that? Can I go,
Give me a sleight of hand. Brasha, give me a reflex save.
You probably
For what?
forget. Sleight of hand is
Reflex.
what?
Dex.
It's just a dex
Dexterity.
check. It's not. Is it sleight of hand?
Hey, you can roll
Yeah, I
20.
can roll a 20.
Brasha
I'm
can roll a
not
1 and
counting
still
on
get a
it.
19.
Yeah, I'm not counting on it
Oh, my
here at all.
reflex saves aren't that bad. If it was my sleight of hand.
How about opposing sleight of hands then? Yeah, you see.
Okay, so dex, that's a 15.
Okay.
Oh, I had a 14 on the die.
Yeah.
Opposing sleights is 23. Dex save is 21.
Okay. So
I just kind of pout.
Not even gonna try.
What
Right
were
on.
you trying to do,
I
Sally?
was trying to like tap a little heart emoji on the message.
So
Tag
so
him.
Oh,
yeah,
I quickly like swipe the emoticon bar so it just ends up being a laughing cat gif.
Oh my- Okay, so yeah, this message is sent, and we'll zoom to a darkened alley of a nondescript location of Absalom Station, and you see a data pad light up on to the reflection of a black helmet, and you just hear, no one hears, but just in this dark alley, the sound, "Fuck you, Brasha."
I like the idea that he has to like speak out loud as he's typing.
Yeah.
You Brasha.
So did you get that? So do we get that message back or something?
You will get that message next time
Ah,
on Hex Grid Heroes.
Oh, can I say it?
Oh, sure, please. Yeah.
Same hex time, same hex channel. Hex Grid Heroes.